Okay, let's go back one more. Now, I'm just going to go over 5 propositions real quick, and then we're going to go into the conclusion of how to vote your values. And with these 5 that we have, let's go to the next. Proposition 68 is a bond. Now, nobody really knows what a bond is. But a bond is the most expensive way to pay for a project. A bond, you better make sure you want to do a bond, because you know what it is? For every dollar you spend to do something, you have to pay back another dollar, in other words, $2, another dollar in interest that goes to bankers and investors. It's a poor use of money. So this one that you're going to be voting on is a $7.8 billion bond. So instead of going to the roads or to dams or to the police, to jails, it's going to go 1/3 to natural resource protection, 1/3 to parks, and 1/3 to water quality supply. Now, a yes vote on the measure means the state sells the $4.1 billion, or what amounts to $7.8 billion. A no vote means the state could not sell these. Those who are against it are the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association, the California Republican Assembly. Those for it are the Democratic Party and Jerry Brown. And those for it are spending over $5 million to convince you. Yes. So here's what the bond is. Since 2000, voters have authorized $27 billion worth of these type of bonds. And $9 billion is still unspent. And it's not free money. And we have a 1.69 horrific debt next. Now, Proposition 69 basically says that if money goes from any type of fund for transportation, like gas tax and what have you, it can't be used for something else. That sounds good, but the problem with this, most of the money will go to that train to Fresno that keeps getting more and more expensive. So it's like it doesn't do anything that it promises to do. Those for it are the Democratic Party and the California Republican Assembly. Those against it are a couple of conservative state legislatures. It's one of those things of why in the world is it on the ballot? Because if you vote yes, you're voting for the right thing, that the money should be used for what it's supposed to be used for, but it's not going to be used for what it's supposed to be used for. So that's, with these propositions, sometimes you vote yes, you're voting no, sometimes you're voting no, you're voting yes. Next. Then 70. So what happened is you just had an 86-cent increase in gasoline taxes. And that came from a thing called cap and trade. And this 86 cents, basically what happens with this is that this one says that in the year 2024, they have to use it for transportation. Until then, they can use it for whatever they want. Well, this doesn't really do much, except in 2024, it gives them a little discipline. So for this are some Republicans and Democrats. Against it are mainly the Democrats. Next. Then Proposition 71. This one is also one of, why are you wasting our time? This one, so that you know, is that when you pass a proposition, right now it becomes law immediately. But over half the ballots aren't yet counted because they're provisional and vote by mail ballots. So it may be 5 weeks before you know if something really passes or doesn't. So what this does is says, before a proposition becomes law, you have to wait until all the ballots are counted. And so if you vote yes, you're saying you want to wait for all the ballots. If you vote no, you're saying keep it the way it is. It becomes law immediately. Next. And then 72. So if you have a building or an apartment or a house, and you collect water to water your grass for the toilets or what have you, you add value to your property. And so you get an increase in taxes. But it's a good thing to save water. So what this does is say, if you buy one of these units, you won't get an increase in your property taxes. So you'd vote yes if you want to say buy it, invest in it, but you won't get an increase. If you vote no on it, it says if you buy it and use it, then you're going to get an increase in taxes. So the election, May 29th, is the last day to apply for vote by mail. June 5th is the election. You can register here. Maybe as much as 70% of the vote.